Welcome to iCalculator's tutorial for US tax comparison. Today we're going to be looking at a tool that we've recently added to our site, iCalculator.com. I will talk you through how to find this tool, how to use some of the features that are in there, and basically allow you to calculate and compare salaries across all states within the United States. So we'll start by first going to the tool. So you can see on the screen we're on Google, and if we type in usiCalculator.com, make sure we put the dot in there. So us.icalculator.com, and you can see it brings up the search result for our site. So this is a free online calculator provided by iCalculator. So the first one brings up iCalculator, then we've got Canada. We actually provide tax calculators for all countries in the world. But if we go to our main site, you can see here you have the home page, and there's a quick link to the United States salary calculator, and we're going to click on that. In this first screen you can see US tax calculator, which basically allows very quick tax calculations. So you can just pop a salary in there if you wanted to, hit calculate, and as you can see it will give you all your income tax deductions and state deductions. But today we're going to look at salary comparisons. So on the left hand menu you can see here US salary comparison calculator. So we'll go ahead and click on that link. And this takes us to a page where every single individual state for the US is listed. And we'll choose, let's say, Wisconsin. Okay. So on this page is a little bit of an introduction to the tool, takes you through various scenarios you can use, but we have had a lot of inquiries about how to get the best comparison out of this new tool. So today we're going to talk through the comparison side of it. So this tool, when you initially load up the website, you'll see a full page. This is the standard page, so with the menu, the headers, all the text, and all the various things that you would typically expect when visiting the website. But we can simplify things for ourselves to make interaction and tax calculation a little bit easier. So if we see, we have the normal view and then the full page view. So if we click on the full page view, we'll lose the left navigation page, and we just have the useful tips and tricks on how to use the tool. We're going to, instead of using a quick salary calculation, we're going to compare salaries today. So if we click on compare salaries, we're going to do it for a single filer. We could select filing jointly, separately, head of a household, or qualified widower if you wanted to. But we're going to use single for this. We're going to compare annual salaries. You could of course compare your monthly salary, your hourly or daily rate, whichever you prefer. But we're going to use annual salary for today. So when we clicked compare salaries, you'll notice this bar jumped up, and we'll just quickly go to quick salary comparison again, and you see that disappears. We go back to compare salaries, it comes back up, and we're going to look at two different salaries compared to our original. Okay, so we're going to compare a salary of $50,000 in Wisconsin in 2023 to, let's say, $50,000 in Wisconsin in, let's go to a previous tax year and say 2018, so we can look at how the tax commitments have changed. And in this example, we'll also look at a tax comparison to New York, say for the same amount of money. Let's go 50,000 there. So once we've entered the details of the states and years that we want to compare in our annual salary amounts there, we'll click calculate, and you can see here you get results, a very quick overview snapshot of each state, the tax year, our salary amount, and then it will go into the calculator will then show the various breakdown of top level calculations. So for example, in Wisconsin, we can see for 2023, our take-home pay on 50K would have been $39,955 compared to 2018 when it was 39,631. So actually, Wisconsin in 2023, you're marginally better off than you were 5 years ago. So you're actually paying slightly less tax, and we can see where that comes in. So the state income tax has reduced, as has the federal income tax. That's most likely due to the increased federal standard deduction. Now, on the screen, you'll notice that the first column is highlighted in blue. This is because this is the highest take-home pay. So if we were to say, let's compare, add another couple of comparisons, so we'll take it up to 5. We'll keep these, this time we'll keep it as Wisconsin. For our main comparison. And we'll go ahead and enter $50,000 into each of the annual salaries. But now let's compare a few different states. So we'll choose Alabama, Oregon, Ohio, Washington, and let's take New York. Now we click calculate. So we can see again, each of the individual states is shown with all the individual breakdowns for each element. And this time Washington is the most advantageous place to live. So you pay less tax in Washington, or a greater take-home pay in Washington than any other states we calculated. Now underneath each of these comparisons, you'll notice that there's a button labeled salary calculation. So if we click on this salary calculation link for Washington,
what is $50,000 after tax in Washington? Federal income
you'll see it brings up the Washington breakdown of how those individual calculations are made. So how federal tax is calculated and various other elements that go with it, your Medicare and everything else. On this particular video, you'll notice that there's one of our YouTube shorts for Washington. So this is a snapshot of how that individual calculation was made. And again, you can find lots of shorts and breakdowns of individual tax calculations. And while we're here, you'll notice nobody's been kind enough to give us a star rating yet, so we'll quickly give ourselves a link because that's always appreciated. That completes the tutorial today. If you do have any feedback or have questions or would like additional tutorials for our other tools, please drop us a message or leave a comment below this video. Thank you.